All right, so let's get into this mess. All right, so let's talk about Tory Lanez. Well, apparently he's been transferred to another prison because after he got carved up like he was Chad Meeks Martin. So it looks like that he's getting a change of scenery. After that whole little stabation situation happened by an inmate who I believe is serving life in prison. So Tory Lane's father, Sunstar Peterson, joined News Nation's Cuomo hosted by Chris Cuomo. God, I don't like him and I damn sure don't. Well, I don't like Chris Cuomo as of late. I used to like him when he was on CNN, but ever since he left and went to News Nation and stuff, he's just been propagandized and all this other stuff. And he's been saying a lot of stuff that's just dumb and doesn't make any sense. And don't even get me started on his damn brother. It'd be a cold day in hell before I ever vote for Andrew damn Cuomo. I've already got Zora Mamdani. That is who my choice is to be mayor of New York. We need to get out that other, field slave. Uh, what the hell's his name? Uh, Eric Adams. I can't stand him. So yeah, on Wednesday, May 21st, so that was yesterday, he appeared on News Nation's Cuomo when he revealed that his son is being transferred to a new prison after being knifed up while in prison earlier this month. Now, Peterson explained that Lanez isn't receiving any special treatment, but the move is part of California's prison protocol following an act of violence, saying, quote, he's been moved because it's part of the prison's protocol that when a situation like this happens, they believe it's better for him to be in another facility. And so he's being moved as we speak. One thing, of course, we are concerned about it because my son is a high profile person. And when things like this happen, there's always some kind of weird news going out trying to spin it to be something else. Now, Lanez, as y'all may be aware, was attacked on May 12th by another inmate in California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi around 7:20 in the morning, Pacific time. So that would be about 10 a.m., 10:20 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, I had to do the math because, on the East Coast. And they said he was rushed to a nearby hospital. A spokesperson for the prison told ABC News. A message posted to the singer's verified Instagram account said he suffered a pair of collapsed lungs and was stabbed 14 times in total, but was in good spirits while recovering. Now, Lane's father says that when he arrived at the hospital, he spoke to correctional officers who claimed they were surprised that the singer was involved in an altercation because Tory, according to his dad, is someone who is liked. He's not someone who is a troublemaker. So I don't think that Tory was in jail starting mess with somebody. I think what happened was you had somebody that was behind bars that had something to prove and decided, I just want to jump in and make a name for myself or do something. So I'm going to go cut this kid up. So that's what I'm thinking was going on. The Toronto native is currently serving a 10-year sentence in prison after being convicted on 3 felony accounts tied to his pow-powing Megan Thee Stallion in defeat during an argument outside of a Hollywood Hills party in July of 2020. Between the stabbing and claims of new evidence, Lane's case is picking up steam once again. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna of Florida's 13th district called for California Governor Newsom to pardon Lane. Child, don't get on my line with that. With Gavin Newsom, because Gavin is a damn joke. That's somebody else. Sorry, y'all out in LA people, y'all need to vote him out as the governor. He is a clown. He don't care about y'all. United People attorney Walter Roberts claimed that Kelsey Harris' bodyguard Bradley James filed the affidavit saying he overheard Harris admit to firing the weapon and not Lane's. Well, and then Megan posted a message to her TikTok calling Lane's a demon and pushed back against the hate she received in recent weeks regarding the shooting case. While SZA also came to Meg's defense, saying, in caps, facts are real. He did it. It was proven in court, she wrote in part. Ain't no new effing evidence. Y'all been saying the same ish for years. Well, and I did post it in my article. Megan's legal team also released a report on Thursday, May 22nd, pushing back the claims of new evidence and support from Tory fans, arguing that the findings are filled with false narratives and foolish bullies. And look, I told you I had receipts because I got them right here. So they want to come out here and start claiming, oh, he ain't do it. They got it's all here. No, y'all just going by hearsay and calling that as fact. So yeah, Harris September 14th, 2022 interview with prosecutors. Now on September 14th, 2022, since y'all want a receipt, I'm gonna give you one. Harris, in the presence of her attorney and husband, participated in a recorded interview with prosecutors and an investigator. Harris admitted to prosecutors that she witnessed Peterson pow the gun, definitely in Miss Pete's direction. Harris confirmed Peterson offered her and Pete $1 million to stay silent. Since y'all need a receipt, I gotta give you one. Now, ring footage. Parrot Peterson's team has recently claimed that they have obtained ring footage that supposedly exonerates Peterson. Not so. Ring audio is not new. It was admitted in the evidence at trial as trial exhibit number 12 and was considered by the jury. Now, the unsworn rumors being spread as fact. Now, Bradley James, allegedly a former bodyguard of Harris, claimed overheard Harris admit to powering the firearm. But James was not an eyewitness to the shooting. He was not present at the scene of the crime. So how the hell how you gonna come out with hearsay and say these things when you weren't there? People need to pay attention to the evidence. Facts are facts. Feelings are not facts, but facts are facts. James has never provided sworn testimony to being subject to cross-examination. James has not publicly addressed these claims himself. Peterson's attorney team merely alleges what James says. So we're going based off allegedly or allegations and not facts. Despite being cited as a key source, James failed to appear at the press conference to support the allegations. So if they're saying key source and he knows this stuff and knows that stuff, then why didn't he appear in the press conference? Why is it that you have these people stand up here with a mic and a stand and a bunch of cameras spewing all this vitriol, but the person who you're saying is this key witness that heard all of this, where is he? And how come the paperwork hasn't been filed? I mentioned that the last time we talked about this. Unsworn rumors versus sworn testimony. Unsworn rumors. Daystar Peterson, Milagro Cooper, and Bradley James. Inconsistent with evidence, never testified, and did not swear under penalty of perjury to tell the truth. Sworn testimony. Megan Pete, Dr. Lee Haruno, Detective Jody Little, Randy Zapata, who was an LAPD criminalist, Srinvasan, okay, I don't know how to say that name. Rathanam, sorry if I butchered it. LAFD firearms examiner and Emil Holland Briggs. They said consistent with evidence, has testified, has sworn under penalty of perjury to tell the truth. So the jury, to point out one more time, they unanimously found Peterson guilty based on the facts, which we have to say in caps, facts. Let's say it together as a family. Our facts, our facts. FACT, and don't forget the S. And what are that called? Those are the facts. Now, not unsubstantiated claims. You cannot go around and say that unsubstantiated claims is valid. It's not. And not, especially not in the court of law. And then they also said that his lies have evolved over the years. The first lie, he initially claimed that Pete was never shot, but stepped on broken glass. Second lie, at trial, Peterson's lawyers argued that Harris, not Peterson, was the power. Third lie, Peterson claimed the LAPD lost or misplaced the firearm and bullet fragments. So they also said that on September 25th, 2020, Peterson admitted himself publicly that Harris did not pow Pete. So you can't keep saying that she did it, then you go back and say she didn't do it, and then she did it again. So your story keeps changing. And that's the one thing about lies. Lies are hard to keep up with. And then they said that Dr. Lee Haroon, and y'all seem to forget too, that, okay, now if I go to the doctor and I've got fragments in my foot, you don't think that those things are going to be done by a medical examiner? They're not going to take those fragments out and they're going to have somebody examine it and see exactly what it is. Like, you know, like when you look at crime scenes and this, that, and the other, and CSI, like, and all that mess, crime scenes tell a story, and it's up to the storytellers or the people that are there to figure out what the story is and bring it to a court of law if there's a case. So Dr. Lee Haruno of Cedars-Sinai Medical Center's Orthopedic Surgery Department testified that surgery was necessary to remove bullet fragments from Miss Pete's foot. So if she stepped on glass, then you would be removing glass from the foot. Where the hell did the bullet fragments come from? This goes to show that y'all just want to be out here and believe lies because you hate Megan Thee Stallion and because you like Tory Lanez. Quiet as it's kept, I don't even think that people who are fighting for Tory Lanez even know any of his damn music or even listen to it. Then they said the third lie, the LAPD lost and misplaced the gun and bullet fragments. So he claimed that Peterson claimed the LAPD lost or misplaced the firearm and bullet fragments. The truth was that the firearm magazine, bullet casings, and bullet fragments remain in the LAPD custody. So how did they lose it when they have it? So, like I said, he couldn't keep his lies straight. Then they said later that evening on July 12, 2020, Peterson texts Pete apologizing for pow-powing her. And they had the text messages. So, how you going to sit up in here and say that you didn't do it when you openly admitted in text messages what you did? They said that his DNA was not on the gun. DNA evidence shows that DNA on the gun came from a man, not a woman. Or Harris's, I should say. That her fragments or fingerprints and DNA and the things was not on the gun. But it said that the DNA on the gun came from a man. He was the only man there. Then he also said that he tried to buy silence through bribes, which we already talked about that. He tried to bribe them $1 million to not say anything. But didn't the city of California try him? Like, Megan didn't come forward with this, but they still blame her. And then they said Pete told police that she stepped on glass because she wanted to de-escalate the situation and prevent the police from using force against Peterson. So she even lied to protect him. But y'all don't want to give her that credit. What y'all want to do is y'all want to blame her because it's easy to blame a woman. It's easy to point fingers at a woman. So it's like, at what point do y'all protect women, especially black women? Y'all be out here protecting these bums and these incels and criminals. Y'all will go hard for him before y'all even go for protecting the one person where, and it always comes down to it, that women are the ones who will protect them because they understand how the system is and how they treat black men. So the women will automatically go into this defense mode of trying to protect the man from, even though he the one that caused harm to them, which is kind of crazy. But this is the mentality that people have. And now everybody's out here saying all these things and picking on Megan and constantly bringing this thing up. So we just need to put this damn thing to bed. Look, they did what they did. They did the court case. They had the evidence they needed against him. His lies switched up many times and more times. And then Megan would do costume changes at her concerts. And people still gonna believe what they want to believe. So even with me bringing y'all the evidence and showing it to you, the receipts and everything, I already know there's some of y'all that's gonna believe what y'all want to believe. And look, this ain't for you. This show, this episode, this clip, whatever, is not for you, and that's fine. You can continue to live in your little bubble. You continue to believe the BS that you want to believe. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. All I am here to do is tell the story, bringing the facts, and you do with it as you will. But if you still want to live in that little bubble, and I'm telling you the sky's blue, and you're going to tell me the shit's green, then okay, there's mental houses for people like you. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of, yeah, Tory got moved to a new prison, but and the people still out here campaigning to free him. He ain't going no damn where. So y'all can keep shouting from the rooftops and want him out. He ain't going nowhere. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.